Alright, hello ladies, welcome to the High Heels of Bitcoin InvestCast edition. I'm very glad to have you on this show. And let's start with little introduction. Each one of you has been already my guest in High Heels of Bitcoin. So let's start with Mir.
Well, the first thing is I'm Italian, because otherwise you wouldn't notice from my accent. And I do many different stuff, but actually the common denominator is that I really love Bitcoin. So what I'm doing at the moment is helping some initiative just like Satoshi Design and BHB Network. And I tweet a lot about Bitcoin.
All right, let's now move to Molly. Molly, your High Heels of Bitcoin was your first interview, right?
It was. It was my first, and it gave me the confidence to go on and do loads of other interviews. Yeah, I remember that interview. Actually, I was so scared, so nervous, but no, it really helped. Yeah, going back. So I'm Molly. I am head of marketing at Coin Corner, which is a UK-focused Bitcoin exchange. I head up the marketing team there. I also co-founded Mount Stocks, which is Bitcoin-themed stocks that aim to teach you about Bitcoin. And I also co-host the Bitcoiners podcast, which is a podcast show brought to you guys by the team at Coin Corner. So it's kind of like an internal podcast, but with the team.
All right, and last but not least, Anna from Russia, right?
Yes, I am Russian American, since we're sharing our nationalities and stuff. I've been in the Bitcoin space since 2016. I've worked for a lot of different projects that include like blockchain outside of the monetary side of it. And then in the last couple of years, I've been the founder and consultant and basically entrepreneur, which always takes a lot of different positions, for Be Your Own Vault. And we teach Bitcoin security and self-custody, sovereignty, introduction, best practices, all of that good stuff, so that people can actually take advantage of all of the things that Bitcoin offers instead of just getting it on an exchange.
Yeah, and that's great. And let's go in the opposite direction. First question, I have to ask you, Anna, why Bitcoin Barbie? Because I have known you as Lady A, Lady Anarchy, and now it's Bitcoin Barbie. Why?
It's both. It's still both. So I went on TikTok as Lady Anarchy, and I was like, I'll mess around. This was, I think, November of last year was when I first joined the platform, and I just wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to see what the young kids were doing and kind of see if Generation Z was even interested in Bitcoin or hearing about it. And I wanted to help those kids because Bitcoin a couple of years ago really helped me out of a really low place in my life financially, and coming out of a really long and tumultuous relationship. So I wanted to help and I wanted to check it out, and then I got banned. They just shadow banned me, and all of my videos were at 0 because obviously anarchy is a dirty word because nobody understands what it really is. So I thought about the marketing aspect of it, and I was like, what would be really funny and kind of dumb, but also flashy enough for people to look at it and not associate it with anything radical. So Bitcoin Barbie came to mind, and a lot of my friends, refer to me as a Barbie doll sometimes, blonde hair and all that, right? You girls know. We all get it. So I don't know, I just went with it. So on TikTok I'm Bitcoin Barbie, but everywhere else I'm still Lady Anarchy, and it's a different kind of persona. I'm playing with it.
Great. To be honest, I have never started my account on TikTok, and to be honest, I think I'm too old to understand that stuff, and I think it's popularity exploded one day, and now I laugh because there are TikTok investors. So there are people on TikTok who are very, very popular, who know nothing about finances, about how Bitcoin works. And there was this one video. There was some girl and I am not a gold digger. I am a Ethereum something.
I saw that. That was good.
That's funny. Hey, it's not just our industry. I mean, one, you have to explain something in under a minute, and even minute-long videos don't do well on TikTok. Like 15 to 30 seconds is your sweet spot. So there's that. But also, it's in every single other industry. And because of the quarantine, that's kind of how it became super popular for millennials and just kind of like exploded because everybody was stuck at home. So there's like fake psychologists on there, and people who like are trying to teach others about the occult and witchcraft but are totally failing and doing it terribly. There's like people who pretend to be health coaches and nutritionists, and they're like, this is my 1 minute TikTok about how you should take care of your body, and it's like they have no medical experience at all, right? And they're passing it off as fact. Like if you're passing it off as an opinion and that's what worked for you, that's totally fine. But if you're out there being like, this is what you should do with your body, and you have no medical experience, it's not gonna go a really good way.
Yeah, it's not going to end well, I think, because this internet source of knowledge is full of crap, and the sad thing is people believe in internet and everything is in there, so it's easier to trust someone from internet than trust a doctor or a physician or I don't know, someone with PhD or something like that. But let's leave this topic behind. Last 12 months we have COVID pandemic still ongoing, so let's start with Molly. How did it change your life? Of course we cannot travel, most of the time we could not travel, we still cannot travel basically, but do you think and I'm asking all of you ladies, do you think it accelerated the crypto adoption?
Okay, so from a Coin Corner perspective, what we saw certainly over the last 12 months was we seen the number of signups that increased. I think it was like 60% compared to like previous years. So absolutely, like we've seen that increase. This Q1 just gone as well. That's been our best ever Q1. I know Kraken and I think Coinbase as well also announced that they had their best ever Q1s. So that's certainly reflective of us at Coin Corner as well. And then, yeah, 2 of our best months ever were during this last quarter, this Q1 as well. So I absolutely think that, I think there's a lot of contributing factors. I think last year we obviously had the halving, which I think contributed to the sort of acceleration of this kind of crypto Bitcoin hype that we saw. I think we had obviously the financial crash in March last year. I think it was essentially a perfect storm for Bitcoin this last year. That's my personal opinion anyway.
Mir?
Yes, of course, because when you start questioning life, because COVID completely changes our perspective, you start asking yourself, well, maybe those crypto, maybe my fiat currency is not so good. And also fear is such a strong emotion. So you're scared for the future, you are trying to differentiate. Probably many people are now in Bitcoin and crypto and trying to save their savings and protect their families. They're of course doing stupid stuff all the time. And I'm convinced that there are more people that we know, because maybe you signal with all of your peers that you don't care about crypto and Bitcoin, but at the same time, who knows? So you are buying something, you're purchasing something just to be sure. So we don't have the perception of what is going on. Actually, maybe exchanges know better about that. And but yes, I know from another exchange, for example, that it's very interesting because it totally changed the age of people who are now interested in crypto. Not more only millennials, but also older people, which is not surprising, but it's probably the first time in years. So it's very interesting. So don't, my idea is just don't don't trust what people are saying, trust what they are putting their money on. So, and that's completely different. They maybe can say, I don't care about crypto, they are for criminals, but they are buying it.
Anna, and how does it look from your point of view?
For me, like, I saw 2020, and it's actually been one of my favorite years, not to minimize, all the struggle and all the heartache that people went through. But I saw so many people wake up to reality and to truth and kind of take the rose-colored glasses off of what's going on in our world, in multiple different areas, So for Bitcoin and crypto specifically, I think actually a lot of it just had to do with the regular like Bitcoin cycle, right? We saw the halvening at the beginning of summer, or was it end of spring, right? And then that's usually when the bull cycle kind of starts to ramp up. So I think this like meteoric rise that we've seen to the new all-time high of 61K is kind of on par with what's been going on. But also, I do think I agree with the girls that that people sitting at home, they're looking up news, they're figuring out that there's all of these sides of the story and that there might not be as true as they thought before. All of a sudden, maybe, hopefully, I'm hoping that it's like, with Bitcoin Twitter's help, they're hearing about all of the things that are going on in the monetary system, how their money is losing value, especially with the Fed printing so much of it in the US and all of the other governments around the world trying to, save the economies that they've effectively been destructing. I think it's a combination of the two. So yeah, it's great. It's great for Bitcoin.
Just like Molly said, there are many different reasons why we are where we are. And the history is unraveling. I don't know if that's correct or in front of our eyes, because right now there is literally the new all-time high, 62,700 right now, exactly at the exact moment we are recording. So
yeah.
They will teach about this recording in the history lessons in like 100 years from now. Yeah, and there were of course two major players who joined this space. The first one is Michael Saylor, who did a lot of good things for this space, and there is of course Elon Musk. But I am not sure, did he do better for Bitcoin, or maybe what is it, Dogecoin?
Good point.
Bitcoin for sure. There's a reason Elon Musk and Tesla have added Bitcoin payments, not Dogecoin. Doge. Can't even say it. I call it doggy coin, so I'm going to call it doggy coin. There's a reason why they've added Bitcoin, not doggy coin. That's what I'm saying.
I wonder.
How it's pronounced? I would say Dogecoin because Doge is an Italian term, but doggy, I don't know.
Yeah, there is some argument ongoing for like years about is it Dogecoin or is it Dogecoin in Poland, and in Poland we call it pieseł. It's Polish word for dog. Maybe not exact translation, but I use Dogecoin. Some people use Dogecoin.
I say doggy coin, and then when I try and say Dogecoin to be like everyone else, I end up messing it up. So I'm just going to call it doggy coin.
No, it's Dogecoin because Doge was the king of Venice, and it sounds perfectly.
Yeah,
I like that, Mayor.
And he created this idea back then when he was a king of Venice. So yeah. Now, yeah.
Peak meme.
Yeah, but I've had an argument like 3 months. Was it? No, not 3 months. When was it? I think it was January, right? When Elon Musk pumped Dogecoin, and someone was arguing with me. It's not a meme coin. It's very professional cryptocurrency. You know nothing about this. You know nothing, Jon Snow. So yeah. And I told him, all right, you are right. I don't want to argue with you anymore. All right.
I'm kind of a little mad at Elon. Like, I think he should know better. Like,
he should.
He really should. And like, at least, yeah, you can joke about it. You can be sarcastic about it. Like, that's what Doge is all about, right? We're all like joking, and the community is like super like fun, and everybody in the community knows that it's a joke coin. But when we see an influx of new people come in, you want to be careful about what you say, especially when you have a lot of influence. I do think that there's some responsibility in being an influencer and being somebody who a lot of people follow and trust, no matter whether that's trust is misplaced, right? So yeah, he's going like Tesla is buying Bitcoin, but then Elon is, tweeting about Doge, and all of the kids out there, like I saw this explode on TikTok, and everybody, I had the same conversations. What are you talking about? Doge is the next Bitcoin. It's going to the moon. We're gonna get it to $1, like blah blah blah. And I was like, guys, it's all fun and games. I'm like, but please like realize that this is a joke coin. No, it's totally real. Like, and it was really disheartening to see Elon then tweet about it and just not even mention it's a joke. Like, right? Some people don't understand the sarcasm, don't understand the meme behind it, don't understand the nuance, maybe, especially on Twitter. He should have been more careful about it. I think a lot of people probably did get hurt but aren't talking about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. But at the same time, I appreciate his style, because it's like probably one of the richest men on earth. I say that because with Bitcoin, everything is changing, of course, so who knows? And he has a responsibility, but his style about I don't care, I don't fucking care, it's super interesting, because now you can in some way be one of the most important people on earth and tweet memes all the time. And I would say he has responsibility, but at the same time, probably those kind of people would have been attracted by other scams. And yeah, let's see. Silver is not a scam, of course, but many people are now into silver. So it seems just like there are people there trying to find the new great investment. They are so easily involved in this kind of scams. Of course, we have to do what we can to educate, to try to explain. But sometimes after, I feel just like I can't prevent this, because the information are out there. You cannot in some way catch the sarcasm. But in this case, there is this lovely, cute dog. Come on. But I feel the pain. I feel the pain all the time for those people. And I cannot even go on TikTok, because I suffer. I probably suffer too much to go there and see those people ruin their life for themselves and for their family.
I think it's a really difficult one, though, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, investing in Bitcoin or any of the altcoins, it's the same as any other investment. You need to know what you're investing in. And I think, unfortunately, Bitcoin has this, well, maybe not Bitcoin, but the cryptocurrency industry. When you've got, TikToks being made trying to pump Dogecoin, it does feed into that kind of joke, kind of, it's not a serious investment type thing. And I think that's why we see so many people come in, maybe Bitcoin aside, because I think that there's a lot of people who think that they've missed the boat on Bitcoin. I think that in itself goes to show how early we are still, because it's never too late to get involved in Bitcoin. But the fact that all these people are now looking for alternatives to get involved with, to be the next Bitcoin, like you say, it is frustrating to watch, but there needs to be a responsibility, I think, on the person to do their own research, to learn about what they're investing in, just to be aware, like you would with any investment.
I agree. It's definitely part of the journey. Like, I lost a bunch of money on shitcoins. It's
fine. Same here.
We all have. We learned, and some of us went the trader route, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, you can totally do this, right? Like, free market anarchist and all that. So you can do it, but just make sure that you're learning, make sure that you're researching. And if you're becoming a trader, like realize that it's a lifestyle, it's a career, it's, you know, a lot of education. And it's not like you go to trader school, right? You get books and you look at charts and you listen to other traders, and you have to also make sure that the traders that you're listening to aren't just pumping coins, but they actually like know the fundamentals and know what they're talking about as far as, you know, the job is like concerned, right? It's a discipline, and you're looking at charts all the time. You're sitting on the computer. You have like 4 screens. You're, you know, you're holding a trading journal, right? You're writing down your things. You're following your strategy. You're trying not to get emotional. Like, it's a lot. It's a lifestyle. So I try to at least differentiate that for people. I'm like, if you want to just gamble, that's one thing. If you want to trade, that's another thing. And if you want to invest, just stick to Bitcoin and you'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. And with great power comes great responsibility. And I hope Elon will not follow the footsteps of John McAfee, because there used to be this guy who was very popular, and he was promoting different coins. He was making a lot of jokes. I've been doing an interview with some lady who knows, I don't remember who it was, who knows John McAfee personally, and he acts like a clown, and it's just an act. It's just an act.
Yeah.
He does not believe this thing, and there is a problem on this market because there are people like, all right, I've been in Bitcoin space for 38 hours. I am margin trading. I am the pro trader. And what do you know about
100x on BitMEX?
Yeah, yeah. Or 125 on Binance, or I think there is a one exchange which gives 500 leverage, so 500x. So it's crazy. But there are people joining. So there was this this girl who mailed me, and she told me, I am buying only cheap coins. And I am asking, why? Why do you buy only cheap coins? Because I cannot afford a Bitcoin or Ethereum. And how can you not afford it? Because I have to. She didn't even know that you can buy a fracture of. She thought you can only buy 1 Bitcoin, 1 Ethereum, 1 Litecoin, and she was and she was buying.
We're so early still.
Yeah,
so early.
And recent mail, I think it was yesterday. Someone emailed me, and he told me, I cannot use my computer, my PC very well, but I would like to start trading. And I was like, what? Learn first, then try to do something. Of course, if he will buy Bitcoin and leave it, so maybe he won't lose. But if he will buy some shitcoin, then well, it won't end well. And then there is this another question, another topic. Are you ladies still bullish? Of course, it's hard to be not bullish because we have recently, right now, we are on all-time high. What do you think? What do you think about this current cycle? Will it end like in 1 week, or maybe this year, or maybe next year, or never?
I will start. I'm terrible with price. I'm terrible with trading. Never tried anything. I'm so lucky. So I tend to think that in the long term, everything will be fine for Bitcoin, because by design is incredible. And so my perspective would be limited in just watching the price at the moment, because I'm not a trader, so I don't care that much. But if I have to guess, yes, probably after weeks of flirting with 60K, I would say that probably at this point it will go higher for some, I don't know. And probably, yes, as many great models as shown up about Bitcoin price, probably we are going to see the three units this year. So I would say, yeah, I'm positive about that.
And you all have laser eyes, I think, right?
Yeah. Yes, of course, because I think I hope, and I kind of think that will be happen this year. And usually I'm kind of conservative, but with all these efforts all around the world, with those laser eyes, come on, it will happen. I hope. Or I don't know if I hope. I just feel that the sort of ambivalence with Bitcoin price, because you are happy because there is a new all-time high, but at the same time you feel sad and nostalgic because you didn't buy enough, because this kind of moment won't come back again. So every time I got a mixed feelings. I don't know if it's the same for you, but it's complicated.
I feel the same. Like when I got into Bitcoin in 2015, and I think the price of one Bitcoin was $240. And if you think now, like how far that's come, at the time, like I just bought a house, I was getting married, so I couldn't afford to, I didn't have the excess income to spend $240 and buy one Bitcoin. But man, I wish I had. But it just is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, like I am super bullish. I think that, if we look at, so first of all, Michael Saylor, he is all in on Bitcoin. I think yesterday he announced that they were paying the board members in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So that is huge. The fact that he's buying up the fact that he's buying up all the Bitcoins that seem to come into circulation at the moment. I think he's on track for 100K Bitcoins, which is crazy. There's so many things. You've got banks getting involved. Previously, it's always been banks versus Bitcoin, and now banks are offering Bitcoin services. So all these things. Tesla adding Bitcoin. So many things. This is why I'm so bullish. I don't think we're at the top yet. I think we've still probably got another 6 months to go. I'm not like techie or trader, but I've seen the graphs, especially the S2F model, which sort of predicts Bitcoin. I think it's going up to, is it 236K? I can't remember. Over 100K anyway. Yeah. So I still think we've definitely got some distance to go in this cycle for sure.
Hey, Michael Saylor, if you're watching this, you have 4 perfect board member candidates on the screen.
I'll be paid in Bitcoin.
I am paid in Bitcoin. I'm never going back.
Amazing.
Well, you're already following me. I don't know why. So maybe we are friends. So from friend to board member, it's super easy. Come on.
So, Anna, what do you think?
I am bullish AF. I don't think I've ever been bearish on Bitcoin since I found out about it. I also don't like to make predictions because I'm not a trader. So the price doesn't really it's so, just the volatility is so small in my mind compared to where I see it going in the future. And at this point, I do think that we're probably going to see a rise throughout this next year. We'll probably see a consolidation period after that, just as we've always have. But the only thing that I'm looking out for at this point is a black swan event. So between geopolitics and the wars that are going on, especially them ramping up after the Biden administration came, back into the US, I think that if we see something like an internet shutdown or the economic collapse, I think that would probably not not kill Bitcoin, but deter it maybe for a couple of years, right? But I'm talking about bad black swan event. Besides that, I don't see everything else for Bitcoin is going to be it's just a little bump in the road, right? So to me, bullish AF forever.
Well, last March was a black swan event, and for me it was like a gift. I've had a lot of excess money, and I knew that we won't run out of toilet paper. We won't run out of those tin cans and things like that. So it's not like the war started. So I was like, okay, I will buy some cryptocurrency. I will buy more Bitcoin and other stuff. And now I am when people ask me, what do you think? Will the crypto market collapse or will the Bitcoin price go down? And I'm like this Elon meme, smoking something. I'm like, don't worry. Even if I won't sell, it won't be as bad as March 2020. All right, so next topic is money printing, because I think it's one. Yeah, money printers go brr. So for me personally, it's bringing more and more people into crypto space, because even the most how to say this, fiat lovers, who believe in fiat system and that money printing is something good, they see that, I think it was last year, 40% of all US dollars were printed, or maybe even more. So people see it won't end up well. So what do you think? How it will influence? Maybe not influence. It's not the best word to use it. How it will affect crypto space?
Wow.
Who wants to go first?
No,
I'll go first.
Go, Molly.
Okay. I think, yeah, that certainly contributed. Like we were talking at the sort of beginning of this panel event, you know, like all the contributing factors. I think this was another really big one, which helped bring people into sort of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, realizing that how can money just be printed out of thin air? Like how can all of a sudden, you know, yeah, 40%, like you said, I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate. I can't remember the exact number or whatever, but certainly around that sort of number. Like, where does that money come from? It just doesn't make sense. And I think that's why, you know, people are looking to things like Bitcoin as sort of like a safe haven asset, because their money's becoming worthless. I think going back to sort of Michael Saylor, I was listening to one of the podcasts and he actually got involved. I think he had heard about Bitcoin before, like a long time ago, but he actually only got involved last year as a result of this, the fact that his money is becoming worthless. So what can he put it in to keep it, essentially? So yeah, I definitely think that it's obviously a terrible thing for the economy, but it's a good thing for Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think it's gonna keep pushing people to find sound money, right? There is a lot of conversation I've noticed the last few months throughout this bull run, right? There's always different narratives during each bull run and even bear market. And this narrative has been, well, why can't the government print just an infinite amount of money, right? There's all these talks about UBI because it's actually like a real possibility now. Some of the countries have been paying out, you know, checks to people because of this pandemic, because of them closing down all the businesses. So that conversation is starting. And a lot of people still have that really like childlike view that we all had, like, why can't we just print more money and then give it all to all the poor people and then we can help everybody? And that's just not how simple economics works. So anybody who looks deeper into that issue will find why it's a really terrible idea to print money without any kind of supply limits. I'm glad that conversation is starting, and I think that's going to be really good for Bitcoin and the entire crypto industry in general.
Yeah. Well, I think it's true. Something is starting, but at the same time, it is a giant mindset shift from what we are used to. So you have to start questioning anything about money. And you have money. You invest in money. You are paying in fiat money, and so. You have to really study in some way, and you find all the scam. And once you understand that your money is not that sound, it is not solid, it's not backed up by anything, then Bitcoin is the natural consequence. But of course, since inflation is something that it's kind of slow, even if it's terrible. And if you look at everything, it's increasing in a crazy way. It's just like a boiling frog. We are the boiling frogs, and we don't notice until we get the strong effects. And this is what I fear, that people will only notice about that when the consequences will be terrible for them. And I'm very scared because, for example, in Milan, which is a kind of rich city, probably the richest in Italy, at the moment, people are starting to be hungry for the first time in years. So there are these long queue of people who cannot afford to buy food or stuff because their money are not worth it, just like in the past. 10 years are not going to make it possible to eat food just like in the past. So I think and I really hope that many people will understand what is going on and to preserve their savings with Bitcoin, because it will be very important for their life. Something is starting, but I'm scared that the mindset shift will take too much time for people to understand what is going on.
Everyone,
I don't know about you girls personally, but I wasn't actually taught about things like economics and inflation at school. So I only learned about that when I got into Bitcoin. And that's scary. Like if kids are not learning or not aware of it, they're gonna struggle when they get older.
Well, I think there is a specific reason why they don't want us questioning and understand what is going on. Otherwise, it will be just normal other topics. Money, economics, and whatever. It's crazy because I've started questioning stuff. Probably when I was in my 20s. Never occurred to my mind. And I'm a curious, skeptic person. So the first, in some way, red flag for me was, this is very weird. What is going on? But when you understand and start studying, it's super, super, super easy to understand why. And also, I would add that in some way, it's very difficult for people to understand, not only because we are not used, but also because it seems just like a positive thing. To just increase money, there is more money around. We are just printing, we are helping people. So it's great to consume stuff and not saving. Saving is not good because people are used to think that capitalism is all about consumerism and spending stuff. But when you study a little bit, you understand actually is one of the most important thing that Keynesianism actually proclaims, which is completely crazy if you think about it, and it takes time.
Well, everyone. All right, go on.
It's just such a good conversation, I gotta keep it going. But I guess I'm an outlier in that sense because, I was born in the Soviet Union. So technically, like my parents, lived through an economic collapse and a currency collapse as well. So for me, it was more like, not necessarily like spoken about outright, like this is what inflation looks like, but definitely it was something that was mentioned throughout my life. And my dad was very honest with us, and he's extremely intelligent. So he, talked to us about the Federal Reserve System. He was mixed up with the Federal Reserve System for a little bit in his youth because he was a revolutionary, right? So it's definitely, not taught for a purpose. And even like when I went to the United States, I graduated college with a business administration degree in international business and economics. And that the entire like scam of the monetary system didn't really sink in because they taught Keynesian economics, of course, until like after I graduated college, after I got my degree, and a couple of years into that, right around the time that I started hanging out with libertarians. We did an End the Fed party in Philadelphia to kind of like, bring attention to these issues. And then once I found Bitcoin at that point, I already knew what was going on. And I was like, oh, thank God there's a solution. And, I only had to panic for like a year or two before I came to it. And I was like, okay, so like now we have a path forward. And I do hope that once people go down the rabbit hole, because you kind of have to go down the rabbit hole a little bit to get these, simple concepts that just aren't taught to us, you're going to end up exactly where all of us are right now.
Well, you read my mind. I was going to say exactly the same thing. I am old enough to remember how Poland looked in the last in communism or in socialism. And I remember I have seen it with my own eyes, empty stores with nothing to buy. To pay for the fuel, you have to get some special card. You have to put something in your car registration. To buy food, now to buy food, you go to the grocery store, you pay and you buy food, anything you want. Back then you had some special cards, so food was limited. It was in Poland like 35 years ago. So everyone who thinks, and by the way, $100 was amount of money high enough to pay for your wedding in Poland 40 years ago. $100.
Wow.
Right now, $100 is like a dinner in a restaurant with your family, or I don't think it will be enough. So that's how money loses value. And everyone who thinks Keynesian economics is good or inflation is something good should read this book. Did you ladies read it?
Yep.
I don't think I've not read that one yet.
Well,
yeah, I actually helped the translating in Italian. So
wow.
there is also an Italian edition.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
One of the best.
And that's Bitcoin.
One of the best books. It really opens people's eyes so about the Roman Empire and how the depreciating the currency, decreasing the amount of gold in the coin. How did it destroy the Roman Empire? So yeah, everyone who thinks inflation is good, read this book.
Yeah, Seyfedin's a genius, and he explains this so well and so simply for people who, might not have even touched that topic. So it's not intimidating. It's not a textbook. If you haven't read it, it's really good. It goes through all the important things.
Also, I really loved the idea that how much inflation can influence other fields and parts of our life, which is crazy. It's not only about money. It's about culture. It's about so many different things. So it's totally recommended.
Yeah, like fast fashion. Oh my gosh. And like I just kind of hate it. I'm because I guess I grew up in that, post-Soviet Union culture. It was always about like, you want to take care of your things, you want to save them, you want to make sure that they last for a really long time because you don't want to be spending money on extra stuff, right? And then growing up in America, it was like, here's a $20 t-shirt that is going to rip in the next 6 months. And here you have to buy a new pair of shoes every couple of months because the soles just, go through. And this electronic is going to break in 2 years, no matter how well you take care of it. And just this kind of culture around crappy products. And then manufacturing all moved to China for people basically working as slaves in these factories. And this stuff is just crap. And I hate it.
You know what? Fun fact for you guys. So like my degree is in fashion management, and I learned all about fast fashion and everything you just talked about in my degree, and it was shocking, honestly shocking. And then I didn't go into fashion because I thought it was horrific. So it all worked out well in the end. But you're so right. It's crazy.
Well, I don't know anything about fashion. But I've been told that no amount of shoes or clothes is enough for a lady.
That's true.
I can confirm.
So
in some way you can shift from quantity over quality, which is great. And you can even start with Bitcoin questioning if you can in some way produce your own clothes or your own shoes. Yes, this is something incredible that happened with Bitcoin. Even this.
or socks.
Also,
Yeah.
Or heels.
Well, are there any Bitcoin heels?
Yes, I have a pair. That's what I mentioned.
Wow.
I think I mentioned it on our last show too. So yeah, I bought a pair for me, my girlfriend at the height of the 2017, bull run, and I think the company, it was like an Instagram, commercial, right, ad. So they disappeared pretty quickly after that. I haven't seen them pop up since. So I guess me and her are like the only girls that I know of that had Bitcoin heels.
Wow, what are they like? Are they like bright orange?
I can show them. No, they're actually, I just brought them with me. Hold on a second.
Well, to be honest, I only have a silver Bitcoin coin. So it's
Cool.
it's 1 ounce of silver. Of course, T-shirts and socks, thanks to Molly.
Oh yeah, I got my Bitcoin t-shirt on as well today. Oh wow, look at those. They are so cool.
That's cool,
They're
actually.
so much fun. I always break them out at every conference, at least
Yeah,
one.
of course, of course.
And then I hobble back to my hotel room at like 3 a.m.
I love them. They are cool.
I have a wardrobe full of Bitcoin stuff, hats, and
yeah.
t-shirts, and I have hoodies, and I really love. But yes, a complete wardrobe. It's beautiful. I love it. Just only to watch all the stuff I got from conferences and all of these years in Bitcoin. So.
Well,
I think it's really cool. I think that like it's amazing that, you know, from Bitcoin you've not only got the industry like the buying and selling, but all the merch people as well. Like it's a whole industry built around Bitcoin, and it's just really cool to watch.
well, because this Bitcoin logo is pretty cool, and there are a lot of other logos that you can use. You have different brands. There are some even crypto projects do their own merch. So yeah, it's great. All right.
Oh, I've got a Lightning network here. So, for example, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
very
pretty.
cool. Yeah.
I think I have a Bitcoin pin to my suit, and there are those I don't remember to my shirt. How do you call those?
The
Cufflinks.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So I have 2 of those.
I started a pin collection. I told myself I would never do it, but then all of the Bitcoin pins are so amazing. I have like a little gold grenade that has a bee on it, and then a rocket with a bee on it. I have like a really old Bitcoin.com one. We don't talk about that no more, but
Actually, I am a giant fan, but I have to say that all the time I'm just like, I have to wear those because there could be some offset problems going around with a giant Bitcoin. You're just like a moving target for some malicious, because this point is not so risky, I would say. But in the future, so my favorite stuff are just like hints, just like Lightning Network, rockets, or whatever. So you get a feeling. For example, socks are great. Your socks, because they are not so Bitcoin stuff, but I can tell from time to time I go out with something with a giant Bitcoin, and I know it's not a good idea, but I can tell.
All right, my last question for today, because we are going near the end, 47 minutes. What are your plans? Because I hope we will see each other next year. Last year we were going to meet, some of us on Mirio were going to join us in Poland on InvestCaps here in Krakow. It's always in Krakow, but there were no InvestCaps last year. And hopefully we will have normal conference with all these after parties and human interaction. Hopefully it will end, everything will end with this COVID. So what are your plans, ladies?
Yeah, exactly. Being the most extrovert person on earth, I will go to every single conference, Bitcoin conference. I will travel a lot. That's my plan, because I have to catch up with everything. And I really love all the Bitcoin people and the Bitcoin community all around the world. But also for my, it's not only about relationship, but it's also about I mean, all the topics that are discussed, all the technology, all the ideas, it's super, super important. I know it's wonderful being here, and we can use a digital instrument and tools, but at the same time, a human connection in real life, it's different. So I'm looking forward to that. And personally, yeah, I am thinking about something crazy, but let's see what happens. That actually BHP network with a lab in Milan, a strong network that has really helping Bitcoin for years, and I am trying to figure out how can it be something again. So I'm really, really thinking about that.
Cool. I'm kicking off my season with Bitcoin 2021 in June, and I'll be spending a couple months in the US during the summer. So we'll see if anything else pops up. I know Katie's already having like an unconference again right before Bitcoin 2021. So it'll be, guns, freedom, and Bitcoin and all that good stuff, sovereignty and the seven flags theory. So I miss you guys so much, and I want to see everybody and hang out and do the conference circuit a little bit. And I'm also I'm working with a company called Lunagistics right now, doing their marketing and writing blogs, which is like one of my passions is writing. So we're doing distributed ledgers and NFTs for the space industry, for the new space industry, which is really exciting. I love combining like blockchain and space stuff. So it's cool that I got this opportunity to kind of help them out and learn more about how we can connect those different technologies. Plus, I have a couple of other projects that are secret at the moment, but hopefully in the next few months, I'll get that all together. And yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess from a personal objectives, I mean, once the sort of borders reopen and everything, I'd love to go to some of the conferences. I'm really good that I'm not going to Bitcoin 2021. It's just, with coronavirus, the logistics of trying to get there and then having to isolate when you get back, it's just a pain. But, hopefully things will change over the next couple of months. And then from sort of like, a business perspective, because essentially that is my job. We've got some really cool, exciting things happening at Coin Corner. We're continuing to grow the team, moving offices to cater for that growing team. And yeah, we've got some cool sort of features and products coming this year, which I think people have been asking for. So very excited to be involved and bring those to everyone.
Well, I think Malta Blockchain Summit, it used to be in November, I think. So maybe this November we will be back to normal. Even in our country, our Minister of Health says that after the vacation, everything will be back. There will be no masks. Who wants to be vaccinated will be vaccinated, and everything will be fine. Of course, coronavirus will stay with us, but then again, most of us will either catch it and live through it or get vaccinated. So hopefully next year we'll be back to normal. So of course I forgot about one topic, but we'll leave this for today, NFTs, because it's crazy. But
well, nobody understands them completely, so that's all we have to say.
Yeah, if you have more than 20 years, then probably you don't get or maybe 30 years, you don't get NFTs. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much for your time. It's been great. We have to do it sometime again. Maybe.
Loved it. Thank you.
Yeah. So once again, thanks so much, and see you hopefully on some conference.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this. I had a great time with you.
Thank you for having us, Mike.
We'll see each other real soon.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.